Hi folks, it's Bob at Mountain Crest Farm, your home of juicy maters. And today we're going to talk about asparagus. Actually, we're going to talk about, instead of how to take care of asparagus, we're going to talk about the improper way to take care of asparagus and what the results are and just how much added work it's going to add to you. Here we've got a raised bed of asparagus. At this end, down here, it looks nice. Everything's cleaned out good. Well, that's because of some work that had to be done yesterday. We've got a bed that's 4 feet wide and about 25 feet long. And as you can see down there at that end, things aren't looking quite so good. A lot more weeds than there are asparagus. Well, that's because asparagus hates competition. Now, this end started with 24 plants, 24 two-year-old crowns. You don't even want to think about starting asparagus from seed unless you have an awful lot of patience and you're a young person. At 60 years old, I figure I want to get stuff started fast. So down here, just to see how things were going to go, I planted 24 Jersey Supreme asparagus plant, 2-year-old crowns last year, spring of 2015. These are those crowns. They've come up pretty good. I got one or two spears of asparagus last year. I got a fair amount this year. I got enough to know that I wanted more. So this bed now contains 60 asparagus plants. 24 Jersey Supreme and the rest are Jersey Giants. Down at that end, this spring of 2016, I planted the rest of them, still 2-year-old crowns. The point I'm trying to make on this video, though, is the proper care of asparagus. Just about the time we finished harvesting our asparagus this year is when our pigs decided, well, we're pregnant and it's time to start taking care of babies. We had a little bit of time and in between, but the asparagus bed got ignored. It didn't look like this yesterday. Yesterday it looked like this. And it got ignored. And to show you how bad it can get, the bed next to it was our bush beans. They were done a long time ago. Bush beans are determinate. They come in a week or two, you get everything and you're done. Well, we obviously ignored this bed, and because we ignored this bed, we had stuff growing from over here over into the asparagus. Well, we were also ignoring the asparagus. So that's what we wound up with. Two things wrong with that. The biggest thing is asparagus hates competition. Asparagus absolutely hates competition. A couple of small weeds, like down here, you'll see there's still some stuff in there that's not asparagus, but it's little and it's down low. Asparagus will deal with that okay. But asparagus does not deal with this well at all. And it will cause you a lot of work. That's the second reason. What you want is after you finish the growing season, the harvest season for asparagus, you let these spears continue to grow. You let them fern out like what you're seeing here, and you let them grow because that is sucking in nutrients, taking it down to the crowns and making for healthier plants for next year. So they'll produce more asparagus than they did this year. You let the ferns grow until the frost kills them off, and when everything's brown, you cut them down to about this level right here, maybe 3 or 4 inches. And you mulch them heavily. Until then, you just let them grow. See how these are growing? Going to produce some really nice asparagus next year. Down here is going to grow too, but it's going to be a lot of work. Because when your weeds get in, like I've let them get in, you can't just start pulling them. These asparagus ferns are delicate. They're very delicate. And your weeds will get in there and get wrapped around your asparagus ferns. And what you have to do, unless you just want to start over, what you have to do is sit here, find an asparagus fern, unwrap it from all of its weeds, get everything off of it. I had the camera pointed the wrong direction. Unwrap all the weeds, get everything off of it. Clean it up real good. And do that all the way through the bed. You've got all these weeds that are wrapped around your asparagus ferns. That's keeping them down. It's keeping them out of the sun. And if you let it go when things frost and they die off, you will have asparagus crowns that will be in no better shape. It's not going to kill them, but they'll be in no better shape next spring than when you planted the crowns this year. It'll be just like you're starting over new, getting new crowns from whatever nursery you buy them from. It's a lot of work to clean up this little area. I got 4 plants to the row, 3 rows here. I'm missing 1 plant over there on that side. There's 11 plants in these 3 rows. It took me 2.5 hours yesterday to unwind them from mess like this. When I get done over here, this will look like this. These were down just as bad. And this is going to look like this. But to finish out this bed, it's about 4 or 5 hours of work. It's a whole lot easier just to keep it cleaned out through the season. Keep it looking like this. Like I say, you don't have to get every little weed. There's a few things left in here. There's a little weed right there. And that doesn't hurt. But keep your asparagus beds clean. And when the harvest season is over, let these things grow and get green and nice big ferns. They look beautiful until they die off in the frost. Keep your asparagus beds clean, let them grow, let them suck nutrients down to the roots, and then those crowns next spring are going to give you a good harvest. Or you can do what I've done and leave yourself with an awful lot of work that's really unnecessary, and you don't get as many asparagus as you want. So that's pretty much something you really need to watch out for on your asparagus. I'm showing you a video on how not to take care of them. By next year, maybe I can do a video showing the results of proper care of your asparagus before, during, and after harvest. Hope this taught y'all something that you can use. Leave comments down below. Subscribe to the channel. Like the video. You know the drill on YouTube videos. And by the way, in addition to all that, have a blessed day.